Funding for this video is provided through a grant from the North Central Extension Risk Management Education, USDA, National Institute of Food and Agriculture.
Good morning, sunshine, and welcome to Make Hay in conjunction with The Ohio State University. I'm Kelly Moore, and this is a presentation for you, my farm families, on the Farms spreadsheet, the tool that will get your assets organized and your succession plan rolling. So time to fill up that coffee cup and gather your info. Let's make hay.
Hello. In this section, we will be discussing what information you will need to collect to complete the business entity section of the Farms spreadsheet. Obviously, if you don't have any business entities, you don't need to complete this section. Collecting business entity information is a little different than other types of assets because we need to know information about both the entity itself, like ownership percentages, and the assets held by the entity. So in the farm spreadsheet, we will be inputting both owner information and asset information. First, we will start with collecting your entity documents. These are operating agreements, partnership agreements, bylaws, or buy-sell agreements you may have for your entity. Not all entities will have these documents, but be sure to check to see if you have them for your entity. Your attorney may want these agreements to know if there are any terms or conditions in the agreements that could affect your transition plan, such as who may be owners and what happens to ownership when an owner dies. If you can't find your copy, you can check with the attorney who drafted the agreement. They may have a copy in their files. We probably won't input this information into the farm spreadsheet, but these documents will be important as you develop your farm transition plan. Next, collect any ownership certificates you may have. These may be stock certificates or LLC membership certificates. These tell us about the ownership of the entity, and we can use the certificates to avoid probate, a very useful benefit of business entity ownership. Next, a list of assets owned by the entity is helpful. We don't necessarily need a list of each item, such as each piece of equipment or each head of livestock. Assets can be grouped together like all machinery, all grain, and all livestock. Then put a best guess value on the different categories of the assets. These values help us put a value on the entity, which is important in developing the transition plan. Your asset list can be in the form of a more formal balance sheet or just a handwritten list. The form doesn't matter as much as having an accurate list of assets and an estimate of values in your entity. Lastly, we will need information on any debt held by the entity. You need debts to know the net value of the entity. For planning purposes, we typically deal with net values, so debt is an important factor in our plan. Your most recent loan statement is the easiest way to provide this information. We don't need an up-to-date debt balance. The balance from the most recent statement will be good enough. We also like to know when the debt will be paid off and the monthly or annual payments. Collecting all this information will go a long way in completing the business entity section of the farm spreadsheet. As always, do the best you can to collect information. If you can't find it all or don't have some of it, keep moving ahead with what you have. Your attorney can assist you with any information you may not have. In a separate video, we will show you how to input your business entity information into the farm spreadsheet.
We hope you have a great rest of your day.
We'll see you next time here at Make Hay.